Hello everyone, so today I'm driving. It's morning, so everybody happy morning. So what happened yesterday was, let me clarify what happened. So I was with another person yesterday at work because there's something wrong with his van and they were fixing it at the garage for him. And ignore that, the van's not calibrated properly. So I was supposed to drop him off at the end of the day for him to pick up. I was supposed to drop him off at the end of the day so that he can pick up his brand new van. And obviously there was something wrong with my brakes because I felt that they were thinning quite a bit, and obviously I don't want to have an accident. It was very, very important that I thought I would get them checked out. So I talked to
Make a U-turn at Bering Road, A2212.
Sorry, one minute. So what happens is I talk to the manager on the phone and he tells me that he can take all of the jobs off. He can take all of the jobs off and he can, you know, send me to the garage, and also the other guy's van is ready to be picked up as well. He can pick up
Continue on A2212 for 3/4 of a mile.
He can pick up his van prematurely, and at the same time I can get my brakes tested, and if they're worn out they can be replaced. So that's what we do. We go down there, we go down to that place, and they tell me that I have to leave the van there, and the other guy says to them, why can't you check them now? And then he said if they said that they can't, they have to leave it there because it's going to take them the whole day, even though it's just one little test that they need to do. It doesn't take long. They insisted that we leave it with them. I gave them away the keys, and the rest is history. We go in his van to the next job. Now obviously by doing this we skipped like 2 jobs by doing this, and so we go in his van and we go to the final job of the day, and halfway through that job the manager messages and calls me, and he sounds quite annoyed, right, because he tells me that there is nothing wrong with the van.
Turn left onto Manor Lane.
He said that there's nothing wrong with the van per se, and that I only went there just to skip a few jobs. Now obviously that's not what I came here to do. And also, if you're driving really fast down the road and you don't have no...
In 1/4 of a mile, turn right onto St Mildred's Road, A205.
And you don't have any proper brakes, you could potentially kill somebody, and an example of that would be a mother and a child. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a cahoots if a proxy manager is mad at me because I was being extra precautious. I'm not gonna kill somebody on the road because of a proxy little manager. I'm looking out for everyone, including myself, because at the end of the day, what they don't know is that I could potentially be saving people's lives, and my driving license and other people's lives are more important than the stupid manager requests. And I'm just going to leave it there.
turn right onto St. Mildred's Road, A205.
I got an empty van, which I'm happy about. So a lot of these jobs, I'm going to be smashing them. I'm by myself today, so obviously the jobs are going to be a lot easier than what they was. That's pretty much it, really. Can't really say much else. I noticed something when re-watching videos of myself, that I say a lot, and I tend to stutter, so I'm trying to improve my talking skills by not saying it so much. Hopefully that all goes well.
In 200 yards, turn left onto Catford Road, A205.
I'm gonna go in the middle lane here, because if you stay in the lane that I'm in, it takes you all the way to Lewisham.
Turn left onto Catford Road, A205.
We want to go to southwest London, obviously, so we're gonna go counterclockwise on A205. So this is the lane that we want to be in at the moment.
Continue on A205 for 1.5 miles.
So we're coming up to St Dunstan's now. Obviously, I never attended St Dunstan's. I was at another school, but I remember during the summer they used to open it up to all kids of all ages, because they used to host a lot of extra curriculum activities there, like tennis and various other sports. They even did roller skating as well, and like a mini school sports day event where they put people into teams. And me and my friend, I'm not going to mention his name, me and my friend used to go there during the summer, and it was pretty entertaining, to say the least. It's like you go in there and it's massive, and on the outside it looks a little bit like Hogwarts from Harry Potter. It's a very, very expensive private school.
There's a speed camera ahead.
A lot of parents are dropping their kids off at school at the moment, so it's going to be a bit busy, but it should clear off within the next hour. Obviously we got a lot of food collections today. Due to the hot weather, I told you before, supermarkets' fridges tend to malfunction because the temperature on the outside increases, so it affects the temperature of the fridges somehow. And these supermarkets, instead of putting precaution measures on their fridges to prevent such an event from happening, they prefer to let the food go bad instead and for us to pick it up, because it's a cheaper alternative for them and they save more money, even though it is very wasteful. I don't like it personally. A lot of that food, most of the time, 7 out of 10 times, it's nothing wrong with it, it's still edible, but they don't want to put it on special offer for people to buy. They don't want to give it to charity. They don't want to give it to the homeless, and maybe they give it to their staff to take home. I don't know if they do that or not, but they should be doing that, because otherwise it's very, very wasteful. There's people in the world that are starving, and you're throwing away food that has anything wrong with it. It's gonna. Yazıklar olsun. Come on. Gonna go anyway.
In 200 yards, turn right onto London Road, A205.
No problem.
Turn right onto London Road, A205. Continue on A205 for 3/4 of a mile.
Coming up to the famous Horniman Museum in Forest Hill. I used to go here when I was a kid quite a lot. I don't really remember it very thoroughly. All I remember is they had like massive prehistoric insects on display, and they looked a bit creepy looking. I think it is a type of natural history museum, but I could be wrong. I do remember when I went there with my mum a long time ago, she got a crazy keyring of a dinosaur, and like there was a clip that you pressed, and every time you pressed it, the dinosaur's mouth would open and it would emit a red light, which I thought was pretty
In 300
cool.
yards, turn left onto Dulwich Common, A205.
I don't know what happened to it though. That was like some time ago, so it probably stopped working and she binned it.
Turn left onto Dulwich Common, A205.
Let's go.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
I think it's ridiculous that roads like this should be 20. They should bring back the original London speed limit of 30, because this doesn't, driving down a road like this at such a pace doesn't even feel natural. It feels like you're taking the piss. I don't know how other people do it. I couldn't hold up traffic. I'm sorry, I couldn't. I need to go at least 30 if there's no speed cameras about, because you know, people have places to go to, you know what I mean, and it's rather inconsiderate of me to go 20 even though it is a 20 limit, because people got places to go to and I don't like holding up traffic. So if anything, sometimes you have to bend the rules a little bit.
There's a speed camera ahead.
Because the people who are making the rules don't even know what they're doing. So you have to use your own initiative sometimes. And this is a great example of that. I heard pretty good things that the Mayor of London did. Like, for example, knife crime has gone down considerably in the capital. That is very good news, because London used to be rife at one point with knife crime. But the only thing negative that, well, I don't know, obviously I don't really follow mayoral politics that much, but apart from the driving in London, every you know, Sadiq Khan sounds like a pretty good mayor on paper, but it's just the driving aspect that gets me a little bit, because you know, he introduced ULEZ, and obviously a lot of people hate ULEZ, especially in the outer London boroughs, because they have to scrap all of their non-compliant vehicles, and the money that they get from the scrap isn't enough to buy a new electric car, or not just an electric car, but a new car that is compliant. And so by doing that, and on top of that, it's a cost of living crisis as well, so people don't have money to buy things like that. It's definitely rubbed people up the wrong way, to say the least. And another thing is, he's made driving in London very, very unbearable for commuters. But other than that, I think he's a good mayor. I mean, if you check the records, if you check the statistics, you know, London has never been safer. Unless we're talking about, you know, pre-1990s, but that's a whole nother story, isn't it?
There's a 12-minute congestion in 3/4 of a mile. You're still on the best route.
I hope I'm on the best route. Apparently, I heard that they put a plan in. The government has put a plan in place to make all of the country ULEZ. So they're gonna expand and try to get rid of all combustion engines by the year 2030. But it is almost 2030, and it doesn't seem very likely. So I think they're gonna scrap the idea because it's not possible. People don't have money to spend on electric vehicles, and combustion engines, combustion engine vehicles are, still popular with some people. Some people don't even like driving electric, so I don't think it's going to work out. Personally speaking, I don't have much experience with electric cars, but I did get an Uber once that was a Tesla, and I was sitting at the back, and every time a guy would drive it and speed up, it felt like I was in a spaceship. Like my insides were going all over the place. Honestly, it actually made me feel sick.
In 200 yards, use the right lane to turn left onto Norwood Road, A215.
It actually made me feel sick. And if all electric cars are like that, then I'd rather not.
Use the right lane to turn left onto Norwood Road, A215, then use the left lane to turn right onto Christchurch Road.
The thing is, this company, Sukuleosun, I got this job, but they didn't even reimburse me for the screen wash. Like, screen wash is important. You can't drive without it.
Use the left lane to turn right onto Christchurch Road, A205. Continue on A205 for 1.5 miles.
Let's go. So the other day, I came into contact with a driver that kept braking profusely as they were driving. Now, obviously, I was on my toes, and then the guy next to me said that he's partaking in something called crash and smash or something of that nature, and so what that means is he's trying to collect compensation from insurance, because if somebody hits the back of him, then the person who smashes into him becomes liable and he gets compensation for it. But to be honest with you, I don't think it was that extreme. I just think he got lost. He didn't know where he was going, or he missed the turning. That's why he braked so strongly. Because after that, he seemed alright. He seemed to know where he was going after that.
There's a speed camera ahead.